Good afternoon, students. So we are going to study discrete mathematics subject. So can anybody tell me what is discrete mathematics? Or before that, can anybody tell me in how many ways we can classify the term mathematics? Anyone? So the mathematics is classified into two things. One is the continuous and another one is discrete. So continuous mathematics is what? It is based on continuous number line or real numbers. As you all of you know, if we have two numbers, so in between these two numbers we have infinite number. Fine? If we say 0 and 1, in between these two numbers we have a lot of numbers, infinite numbers. Fine? Or let's take an example of sine function. So you have must studied about this sine function, which curve is like this. So we have continuous numbers, and this is one number origin, this, and using these points what we have made a curve. That is what the sine wave. That is classified as your continuous mathematics. Now what we need to focus is discrete mathematics. Now discrete mathematics is what? Can anybody tell me what is discrete? The term discrete, what is that? It is just a particular value. It is not about the whole thing, it is the particular value. For example, let's take an example. Find the total number of students in your class. So at present, total number of students is 60. Fine. So we have given a random value, or we can say a particular value, that here we have 60 total students in a class. Fine. Now if I say how many are present in this class, so let's suppose 40 students are present. Fine. So we have given what? A particular value. We have given a particular value. For total students we have given 60 value. For present students we have given 40. Fine. So that is what? Discrete. So discrete mathematics, it's not a branch. It's basically study of discrete set, or we can say discrete elements. Clear? So before going through what is set, can anybody tell me why there is a need to study this subject in computer science? Why there is a need to study this subject? Basically to make or to build logical thinking. Fine? Our computer science related problems are mostly based on discrete problems. Fine? Hence what we need to make? We need to make a logic. एक logic पता होना चाहिए आपको, to make a logic, and then so that by using that logic we can solve our problems efficiently and effectively. That's why we need to study this subject, discrete mathematics. Clear everyone? Now in this subject you are going to study different fields or different units. One unit is based on set and relation, another unit is based on probability, permutation, then basically the counting principles, right? Inclusion, exclusion principle. The third unit is all about propositional logic. Unit 4 is about algebraic structure, that is nothing but your group theory. And the last unit is going to be your graph and trees. So that is all about you are going to study in discrete mathematics. From now onwards, we are going to study what? Unit 1, that is set theory as well as relation. So today we are going to study about set theory. So that I think set theory you all have studied in your +2 level class, right? So can anybody tell me what is set? What is set? Sets are well defined. What? Well defined, unordered collection of distinct objects of same type. So what is well defined? Well defined is what? Let's suppose I have given you an example that there is a set A. You have a set A which is going to consist of Hindi alphabets. What? Hindi alphabets. So let's suppose I have given K, K and G. K, K and G. This is all about Hindi alphabet. So what we have done, we have just defined it. That particular set A is defined. If I say set A is having 1, 2, 3, G, K, G. What I have told you earlier that set A consists of what? Hindi alphabets. What? Hindi alphabets. Clear? But now what I told you, 1, 2, 3, K, K, G. Is it a well defined? No, it is not. Why? Because I have already told you a set A consists of in Hindi alphabet, but we have here numbers also. Fine? If I say this particular set, if I want to make it well defined set, then what do I need to say? Ki set A consists of numeric as well as Hindi alphabet. Clear? So that is what? Well defined. So that is the basic, we can say that is the basic definition of the word well defined. Next is unordered. Unordered, who don't have any particular order, or we can say that should be in a random phase. It could be, if I say a set A consists of all the numbers, so from 1 to 10. So it is not necessarily that every element is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9, 10. It's not कि एक order में हो, particular order में हो. It could be in random number. So we could have, first we have 9, then 5, then 4, then 3. That is what? Unordered. For example, set B is 3, 2, 1, 5 and 4. So what we have set B is what? Collection of numbers from 1 to 5, but in unordered manner or in random manner. So it could be what? Unordered way. So first set must be what? A well defined. Set must be what? Well defined, and the another one is it could be in unordered way. It's not that it should be in unordered, it could be in order way. So in both the ways you can define your set. It could be unordered or ordered. Both the ways you can define your set. So this part is done, this part is done. Next is collection of distinct objects. Can anybody tell me what is distinct? Can anybody tell me what is distinct? Distinct is uniqueness. Uniqueness. That means no repetition is allowed. If I say set C is having 1, 2, 3, 3 and 4. Here the occurrence of 1 is 1 only, occurrence of 2 is 1, occurrence of 3 is twice. Here 3 is repeating 2 times. Then occurrence of 4 is once. But in our definition, what is that? Collection of distinct objects or distinct elements. Here there is no distinct elements. We have 3 which is repeating twice. Hence it will not be considered as your set. When we do types of set, there is one set which is called as multi-set. In that multi-set, we can say there repetition is allowed. But if we say about the basic set, in basic set, number is not allowed, or we can say repetition of numbers is not allowed, or anything, any element, repetition is not allowed for the basic one. We can say it is not a valid set, or we can say basic set, but it is what? It is a multi-set. Multi-set where repetition or occurrence of element is there many times, then that set is known as multi-set. Where repetition is allowed, recurrence, there is a redundancy, or we can say there is a duplicacy in elements, then we can say that set is what? Multi-set. Is that clear? So that is about collection of distinct objects. Now of same type. Now what is that same type? Can anybody tell me same type? I hope you have studied C programming in first year. You have studied about array, right? Array is what? It's a collection of objects, same type of objects, or we can say collection of homogeneous type, right? So if you are saying collection of homogeneous type means same type. For example, we are collecting or storing the data of integer type only, or we are collecting or storing the data of varchar only. Fine. Decimal values only, that is, it could be float or double, right? So similar way, we have to collect the data elements or distinct elements of same type. Clear? That is what? A set. So basically, a sets are well-defined, unordered collection of distinct objects of same type. I hope now you are going to rectify what is set, which terms as set or which don't term as set. Fine? So you can note it, and then we'll start then further. You can note it. Okay, so I am just erasing this. So now we are going to study about properties of set. So the very first property of set is the set are always defined in capital letters. Defined capital letters. Here, for example, like we have taken before, A is K, and G. So we have taken set A, which is in capital, then elements K, G. Why we always take this set name in capital one only? Because we have some elements like A, B, C that can also be used. So to differentiate between, if I say small a is A, B, C. So whether to take this A as set or element, so it's quite difficult to understand which one is the set, this one is the set, or this one is the set, or this one is the element, or this one is the element. Fine. So that's why we always take the set name as capital letters. Clear? Second point is, fine. Second point is, elements are separated with commas within curly brackets. That is what? Set A, curly braces, set A, curly braces, then small a, that is one element which belongs to set A, and it is separated with the separator called comma. Then another element B, then comma, C, comma, D, and so on. So this is how you gonna represent your set, or how you can take your elements. Clear? The third point is, X belongs to A. This symbol is belongs. It represents what? X is a member of set A. Fine. If we say X doesn't belong X is not a member of A, not a member. Clear? So that is about set property. The fourth property is cardinality. Total number of elements in a particular set is known as cardinality, which is denoted as, let's suppose we have a set A, taken A, B and C. So तो cardinality को कैसे denote किया जाता है? It is denoted as like mod, then A, and how many elements we have? 1, 2 and 3, and total elements we have 3. So that is about the properties. First, a set is always defined in capital letters. Second, elements are separated with commas within a curly brackets. Third, if X belongs to A, that means X is a member of set A. For example, if I say this example, A is a member of A, B is a member of A, C is a member of A. Can we say D is a member of A? No, because D is not written over here, so D is not a member of A. Is that clear? Now next is cardinality. Cardinality is what? Total number of elements in a particular set. That is what your cardinality. Clear? So cardinality का अगर let's take an example from set A having elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 8. We have what? Set A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 8. So how many elements we have in this? Total 7 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here mod A is, or we can say the cardinality of this particular set is 7. Is that clear? So you can note it. Afterwards we are gonna do representation of set. You can note it and then we will start the another topic. Representation of a set. Okay, so I am gonna rub it. So yes, so the next topic is representation of a set. Representation of a set. So first representation is what? Tabular, which is also known as roster representation. Here, and the next one is set builder representation. Clear? Tabular and set builder representation. So, what is tabular or roster representation? Here in this we are actually listing the elements. Okay? Let's suppose we have set A. Okay, we don't take the set A, we take the another element. Let's take, we have taken the set X. Fine. In this X, when we have the actual elements in a particular set X, then that is what tabular or roster representation. Fine. For example, I have taken 8, 9, 10, 11. We have taken the actual list or the actual element in a particular set, that is what? Tabular or roster representation. Next is set builder representation. Now what is set builder representation? If we say in tabular we represent or we list the elements only, then what we do in set builder representation? Anyone? So representation, we specify the properties, or we can say we specify the rules which those elements need to satisfy. Fine. We need to specify what? Specify properties or rules the elements which the elements need to satisfy. Clear? That is set builder representation. Now how we gonna specify the rules? Anyone? For example, let's take an set Y, and how we gonna state the element or the property? Within a curly braces. So we will write what? The curly bracket. Then one element, and that element belongs to X. We have taken the element X, and that X can be anything, where this X belongs to natural set. N is what? The natural set, and X is less than equals to 5, or let's take 6. So what is N? N over here is natural set. N is what? The natural set. N is what? The natural set. Then which starts from, can anybody tell me, in natural set 0 belongs to natural set or not? 0 belongs to natural set or not? No, right. 1 belongs to natural set, but 0 doesn't belong to natural set. So natural set starts from 1 to infinite. So we come to know that N starts from 1 and end with infinite elements, right? Now we have one condition over it, or we have one property over it. X should be less than or equal to 6. So we will start with 1 till 6. Afterward, we will not take any of the natural set elements. So here Y is equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is what here, this Y. So this is what? This is your set builder form, and this is what? Your tabular form. After finding the property, or after satisfying those elements, after we have satisfied that element belongs to this particular property or not, what we gonna do? We gonna list it or display the actual elements, which is nothing but your tabular or roster representation, listing actual elements. Clear? Clear everyone? So let's take one example. Z x such that 3x square minus 2x plus 2 is equals to 0. Can anybody find the value of x? Fine. Sorry. Now find the roots of this x. We have given one quadratic equation. After finding this quadratic equation, what you are going to do? You are going to find the roots components of this particular x, the values of x you need to find, and those values of x, it's nothing but your elements. So just find it out, just calculate it, and then let me know what's the answer of that. It's a basic one, just tell me that answer. Okay, just tell me the answer. So how to solve it? X cube minus 2x plus 2 equals to 0. Let's take the common one, x. Fine. Now this is nothing but 1. This is x minus 2. So x minus 1 equals to 0. X minus 2 equals to 0. Here we have x equals to 1 and x equals to 2. So we are going to have two elements in set Z, which is 1 and 2. 1 and 2. So that is what? That is what? The tabular or roster representation, and this is what? The set builder representation. Is it clear? So now another thing you need to identify, or you need to tell me, that is what? Let's suppose you have, okay, let me erase it once. Okay, so you have Z is what? 1 or 2. So now after calculating this equation, what we are getting the values? 1 and 2. So let's suppose we have one set Z 1, 2, another set D having 2, 1, another set E is 1, 2, 2, 1. So can anybody tell me? So can anybody tell me if is Z equals to D equals to E? This is Z, if you are not getting it properly. This is D and this is E. Z, D, E. I am writing it over again if you are not able to see this because of the light. Fine. So is Z equals to D equals to E? Z equals to D equals to E. Here, right, Z is equals to D, right, because what I have told you earlier, set is a well-defined unordered collection. Unordered collection is what? Either we can write 1 and then 2, or we can write 2 and then 1. So hence it is the valid set. Is Z equals to E or D equals to E? No. Okay, it is not. It is not. Why it is not? Because in E we have repetition. Okay. Here 1 and 2 both are repeated. Right. But here we are not finding the repetition. Here we are asking about is D is equals to E or D is equals to E. While finding the equality, we are actually finding the elements. कि elements equal हैं या नहीं, elements same हैं या नहीं. In Z we have 1, in Z we have 2, in E we have 1, in E we have 2. Again in E we have 2 and in E we have 1. So we are what? We are having 1 and 2 element in E only, but with some occurrence, with some repetition. Fine. And in finding the equality of set, we never go with repetition. We only check whether the elements are same or not. Fine. Let's suppose, so in this case, Z is equals to D is equals to E. Yes, it is equal. So in both the cases, Z is equals to D, Z is equals to E, D is equals to Z, D is equals to E. All these three sets are equal. So in equality, while finding the equality of a set, we never go with the repetition. We always find whether that particular element is same or not. Fine. That is what equality of set. Let's suppose in F we have 1, 2, 2, 1 and 3. Can we say this Z is equals to D, equals to E, equals to F? It is equals to D, it is equals to F, as we have seen over here. But is Z is equals to F? No. Why? Because here we have 3. But in Z, in D, in E, we don't have the element 3. What we need to require for finding the, to check the equality of a set? We require the same number of elements, or we can say the same elements. So here we have 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1. और here we have 1, 2, 2, 1. यहाँ तक equality purpose solve हो रहा था, but here we have 3 in F, hence it is not what? Equal set. Hence Z is not equals to D, is not equal. Z is equals to D, equals to E, but not equals to F. Similarly, D is equals to Z, D is equals to E, but C is not equal to F, and E is equals to Z, equals to D, but not equals to F. Is that clear? I hope you understand the basic concept of a set. So just any doubt in this? Any doubt in this? So we'll do it again. We'll just do the recap of that what we have studied today, and then in the next class we are going to study about the types of set and the operations on set. Fine. So it's your duty to learn about it, to have some knowledge of it. I hope you already have it, but so that you can understand more easily or more quickly or more efficiently about the type of set as well as the operations on set. Just study about it and for the next class. So now we're gonna do the recap of that, of today's lecture. So tell me, what is set? Set is basically a well-defined, unordered collection of objects, distinct objects of same type. For example, if I say a set Z consists of alphabets, English alphabets. Fine. So Z is equals to A, B, C and D. So we have A, B, C. A, B, C is what? We have the elements. Here ABC is what? We have the English alphabets as an elements. Hence it is proving that we have well defined it. Clear? Second is unordered collection. Nowadays, although we know we will write A, B, C, D or English alphabets which starts from A, then B and then C. So it is in a particular order, but we can also write a particular set A in different manner, and that is what? B, A, C, B, C, A, like that. Fine. Then third is the collection of ordered, or we can say the collection of distinct objects of same type. Distinct object yani uniqueness should be there. So here it is. Yes, the example A is having A, B, C. There is no repetition of A, there is no repetition of B, there is no repetition of C. Hence we can say it is what? The set is what? A well-defined collection or unordered, well-defined unordered collection of objects of same type. Distinct objects of same type. And set A is proving it. So that is what a set. Clear? Now then in the next step, then next what we have studied, that is properties. Properties is what? This set should be defined in capital 1. Fine. Another point is set elements are always written within a curly braces and separated with operator which is known as comma. Separator which is known as comma. Fine. Then third property is if x belongs to A, then x is a member of A. If x doesn't belongs to A, then x is not a member of A. Fourth is cardinality, that is nothing but total number of elements in a set. Afterwards, representation of a set. We can represent our set in two ways. One is the tabular one, another one is the set builder one. And tabular one and roster one is one of the same thing. Either you can say tabular or you can say roster. So if somebody asks the represent your set in a roster form, it is nothing but your tabular form, that is actual listing of your elements. Fine. Then the set builder form is what? Set builder form is we specify some properties. Fine, we specify some properties and that properties must be satisfied by the elements. That is what set builder form. Afterwards we have done about equal set. In equality, for checking the equality, what we need to identify whether the elements are same or not. Repetition, occurrence, we don't bother about it. It's just the elements should be same. Clear? So that's all about today's lecture. I hope you all understand this lecture. And if you have any query, you just learn it at your home, and then if you have any query, you can ask in tomorrow's class. Okay? Thank you so much.